Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching Jobu's day job that turns into a weekend job that also turns into a night job at some points. And we're here at the Red Brick House, something that is very, very near and dear. And we have actually just passed our anniversary of owning this for 7 years. 7 years. And a lot of people will say he's been working on that thing forever. He'll never get it done, and yada, yada, yada. Well, it's been around for 203 years. So, what's your rush? Quite frankly, the timeline of getting it, when I got the property, I did not know it was zoned highway commercial. And for those who don't understand what highway commercial is, highway commercial means that you have to, it's generally like a 4-lane highway, like a main street and things. And being commercials had to be a business. And what it meant is you have to be able to have enough space for people to exit the highway, park, and you have to have for every 400 square feet, a parking space. So you have to have enough space for a car to exit the highway, park, be able to turn around and re-enter the highway. This is the road. The reason why it was designated highway commercial was originally the road behind us here was going to become the main highway through town. It ended up being Main Street is about 200 yards that way, so it never happened. So since the 50s, it's been zoned that. Well, it took us over 5 years, 5 years to get the zoning changed on it to local business, which means it could be a business or it could be a residence, and to be able to get the permits to actually start working on it. So then COVID happened, which made it kind of difficult to do much of anything. But for the last year, in fact, we tore off the kitchen and rebuilt it last summer. That's when we actually really started. And after football season ended, is when we've been, excuse me. Since football season is when we've really started to bear down and really go at it. We got the electrical after 3 months of waiting for the power company to get here in January, and we've been hitting it pretty hard. If you have been following this channel and watching for all that time, bless you for doing that. But you'll see the many, many changes. One of the things that's almost comical to me is people would rather see you fail than succeed. This place, beyond just me fixing it, has been an incredible experience because of all the people I've met that have been tied to this house. That I may own it, but I don't really own it. This belongs to everybody. People look at this and they're like, oh man, it's going to be years before you're done. Well, I tell you, the difference between a month ago versus now, a difference of a week ago versus now, heck, a difference of yesterday versus today. This literally changes every day. One of the things that I'm so happy about, I've actually got a selfie stick now. It's bothered me seeing the fascia board looking like hell. There's pictures that are 50 years old where that's been messed up. It's now fixed. And as I look behind me here and I look at the black gutters that we put on here, it looks stunning. So let's take a look at what's happened so far and where we are. We've, of course, stripped off all the paint and everything here, repainted it, got it looking good. We ended up redoing all the handrails with the original balusters. Although we were missing a few, I actually took some of the wood, some of the floor joists and the 2x4s, and used those to go ahead and turn on my lathe to match up a lot of the balusters that we were missing. And you can see up here, the man went up here and bent all the metal up the top. The back half of the house was literally just hanging in space. We ended up having to rebuild that side of the house. We've got the red siding that's put on there. We're going to put the black gutter up on here. It will be nice, nice, nice when we're done. These windows we could not save from the original. They were just too far gone. So we ended up saying, this is the original part of the house. We kept the original windows that were here when we got it. This part of the house, the addition that was put on later, we ended up making that with modern windows and things. So let's go inside and take a look at where we are and what we're planning on doing today. It feels so much better being here. Well, actually, this is pretty good. I got the selfie stick because everybody's like, we're tired of seeing your chest up close and everything. So one of the things I'm working on right now, and this is where most people will look in space and see the walls unfinished like this, and they'll be like, man, that's months of work. Well, if you watched yesterday, you could see the brick and stuff in there. We ended up actually putting that first coat of plaster in last night to fill all the spots that were really, really deep. Then it's a matter of going back over with finished plaster. We've gone through, and again, same thing, that was bare brick. I'm working on sanding the ceiling. I've used actually my drywall sander to get a lot of it, but there's some places where you really got to use a random orbital one to get the flakes and stuff off of there. So I'm going to work on trying to get finished getting this whole thing sanded out so we can paint it. You paint this, all of a sudden it looks really, really finished. That's another one of the things that we're doing. The stairway, we're working on the staircase here. I'm debating on if we should paint all of this black, the panels in there, or if we should end up painting this stuff white and make the staircase look like it floats. So we'll figure that one out, what we're going to do with that. We're going to end up having to put in an exhaust fan in here, so Mike had to do some changes on the light switches there. We got to order those light switches. And this
on Amazon.
Okay, all right. Well, send me the link.
Now the other thing too.
Hold on, I'll be right with you, Mike. We're working on the handrails here. As you can see, this is the look of going up the steps. I had to make this one to kind of match that one. It's not exact, but it's close enough. And here, you can see the difference of the finished plaster. That's the first coat versus the sand coats. This is actually would be the second coat. This is the third, and then there's another one. So you're starting to see all of this get put together. One of the things I'm going to work on this morning is leveling the floor here, and we have a floor outlet. So we're going to take up the boards here. We're going to end up leveling the beam in between them and relay the boards, so that way there's no longer this tripping section. It'll be easier when we sand the floors. So we've got that going. And then my buddy Jet has come back. He ended up setting the tile on the floor there last night, and he'll start working on the tile on the walls and stuff. And we're working on getting the exhaust fan put in. So that's what we've got on tap for today, getting going. And I also have to get insulation to go under the house. We actually insulated above the roof yesterday, and it definitely feels a lot better in here. All right, that's where we are today, and I'll see you soon.